Hello, everybody. If you are here, let me know if you can hear me. Do a little audio check real quick. 1, 2, 3, audio, audio. And we'll get started really soon. I just need to make sure everything's good to go. It's been a little bit of a while since I streamed, so yeah, hang on tight. We're going to start very soon. And while we're waiting, I'm also going to post the link in Discord and everything, so everyone knows that we are live. In Discord and everything, so everyone knows that we are live. In Discord and everything, so everyone knows that we are live. All right, and let's get one for Instagram. All right, and let's get one for Instagram. All right, and let's get. What's up, Spot? What's up, Spot? What's up, Spot? All right, let's go. What's up, Kian? Good to see y'all. Hello, hello. All right, let's go. Gavin, so excited for the Sword and Shield tutorial. True, true, true. I'm excited to bring it to you guys. I think it's one of my best designs. And we're going to be making it like during the stream. So if you have paper, and since you guys are here at the beginning, I guess there's a chance you can, get a little head start on it. I think the goal of today is to make it through most of the collapse because I don't think it takes very long. And then shaping will probably be a different day and a different tutorial. So yeah, haven't seen one of your streams in a long. Yeah, I was going to stream more in the winter. It just like didn't work out with timing. Busy with traveling and celebrating with family, so I just took a little break. And was working on some other stuff. Okay, so I think we are good to go. There's me. Hello, everyone. What's up? What's up? Okay, so we're back. We're back. It's been a little while, I know, but we are back, and we got some exciting stuff today. And I think at least for the plan today, we are going to do the members review. It's been a little bit of a while. We've got quite a few submissions, and this is from the members Discord. Just kind of start off, the stream, and then also we are going to be working on the Sword and Shield tutorial today. So let me grab him actually. So I bet a lot of people are going to ask what we're doing. So let me grab him actually. So I bet a lot of people are going to ask what we're doing, and we'll just get him ready to go. And we'll just get right here ready to go. Now, I mentioned there's been other projects I'm working on. And for the new year, right? Like this video is the first one going out. But I've got some more exciting projects that I've been working on. I haven't been streaming. I'll give a sneak preview to one of them. And this is actually a collab. This might be one of the biggest collabs I've had. It's not done yet, so I'm not going to show the full thing. But it's pretty cool. You only get the I'm not really not showing much, but you might be able to tell a little bit of what's going on. I'm not really not showing, but this is just a real small sneak preview of something that's gonna be pretty cool. So yeah, I've been working on that, and I know I haven't spent all month on that. I actually have two versions for this collab. Again, not trying to spoil too much yet, but at least maybe in this stream, there's only like 20 of y'all here, so you get a little sneak preview of what I've been cooking. But yeah, that's exciting. What I've been cooking. I'm wrapping that up super soon, hopefully. And then got another sponsored project that's pretty exciting. And I know on this channel you don't see too much like sponsored videos. If there is a sponsor, I would only really take them if it's was intentional to you guys, something I think that would work well for y'all. So like that would be the Legion paper in the past, Origami Shop US back when that was a thing, and now there is another brand, a specific tool that I think is going to be really cool because it's going to involve crease patterns and stuff like that. So that's going to come up soon. I still have to configure everything, but that'll be pretty neat. I think it'll be exciting to show. It's definitely going to be a little bit different because it's not exactly all just paper. We're going to have stuff with like metal and wood. That should be pretty exciting. But that's coming up soon as well. So lots of videos on the way. Thank you all for being patient. And in the meantime, I'll still try to do live streams on Fridays. It works out that I can do a tutorial at the same time as a stream for y'all. But yeah, we'll get into this tutorial pretty soon. I just want to say hi to everybody. Let you know I'm still alive, still cooking. I know I only posted like 2 shorts between now and then. But we'll be cooking those more too. There's actually someone from the community who wanted to edit videos for me, which is super exciting. So hopefully I'll be able to push more content out with the help of the editor. I'm paying them for the videos as well, so it's great all around. All right, so let's see. Alex and Yuki, hello. Let's say hi to you guys. Just see who's here. Kian, Nara, what's up, Nara? The voice is repeating. Voice is echoing. What's up, Nara? Yeah, let me check. Voice is echoing. Yeah, let me check. Why is it doing that? I see why. Okay, sorry guys. I should have checked that earlier. Let me know if this is better. Okay, sorry guys. What's up, Mark? Greetings. Voice is definitely echo. Okay, that's not good. Toaster, guessing you can't show me right now, but I'm designing Poseidon and I have a lot of trouble to try it. Have any suggestions? Well, if you're into Discord, Origami Day on Discord, you can ask me a question in the help channel and send photos, and then I can help you out from there. Man, I folded Bailu. Oh, nice. Okay. I think we fixed the echo problem. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Too many voices in my head. Oh no, it was super echo. Okay, my bad, guys. All right, well, good thing I didn't start recording the tutorial yet. What's up, teacher? What's up, Ace? Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Still repeating. Reloaded. Have sound back. Do you have the echo? Still repeating. It's better, but okay. That's really strange. Let me reset things. Better, but okay. That's really strange. There must be. Oh, I know why. Must be. Okay, I think it was coming from Twitch. I just want to read the chat, please. Okay, chat window. All right, how many microphones do I have? So, like, because I have the the double camera setup, and then this, it was like, sometimes it changes the devices. I have like a mixer, but sometimes when I turn the cameras on, it like unsets my settings on the mixer, and that leads to some echoes. And then also it was playing through the desktop audio, which should have been muted, but it wasn't muted. It's better. Okay. What's the Discord? Can someone drop the Origami Dan Discord invite link to Toaster? Now, Toaster, you can only join if you're over the age of 13. That's the terms of service. So if you're not old enough yet, then just gotta wait. But if you need help, send me an email. I think I have my email on the YouTube channel, and if I have time, I'll help you out. Can't help like too much, but if it's like a quick tip, obviously quick tips are pretty easy. Got it back to just one voice. All right, sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it's good now. Yeah, and with that, since the audio is fixed, I think we can get started into the first part. Ansel, I see you in chat and in the live stream VC. I used to have that as like a another. I had like a bot running stuff. Probably not. I don't have that set up right now, but feel free just to hang out in the chat. Probably won't go into the VC, but we are going to check out the members submissions. We got some pretty cool ones. Like I say, I took a quick look before the stream just to see what people were posting, and yeah, it's awesome. So for those who don't know what this is, if you join the YouTube membership or use like a subscription on Twitch, you get access to this OBB members server, which has a lot of premium content and like behind the scenes stuff. So a lot of the members have already seen that fold I've been working on and know about some of the upcoming videos. So yeah, if that's interests you and you just want to help support the channel, then feel free to join. But you also get access to like diagrams and crease patterns. So it's a pretty good deal, not gonna lie. Let me actually, just since we're gonna be recording soon, I'm gonna turn off the chat box so y'all can see a little bit better. But we'll start with this. I can't remember if I covered this in the last stream. I don't think so. I think my last stream was end of November, but just in case I forgot, let's check this one out. This is Boric, who was designing in a Origami Dan contest, which was like fold or design something in a similar style of someone else. And this is copying Anise, which is really cool. And if you've been to my stream before, you know that this is a model that I own. It's down there. But so yeah, really well done. I think we might have checked this one out before, but just in case, got to feature it. So shout out to Bork. That's super cool. Next up, we have Reza. This is Daydreaming, or Reza. And I've mentioned Reza a few times on the stream. If you know Reza, you know. But he made a Phoenix with the style inspired by Mayu, which if you guys are unfamiliar, I'll show you one of Mayu's folds. This was a gift I got, and he posted this kind of recently as well. I've shown this off a little bit as a sneak preview, but this is a Phoenix. This is my Phoenix design, but it is folded and shaped by Mayu. So you can see he has like a really organic style. Should have lighting on this is kind of blown out. Reds, I guess, is just a little hard for my camera, but you can see there's a ton of like crazy detail. It's really, again, wavy. You wouldn't really just use the word clean in this style, but like it works. The crumpling, it works. So that's pretty cool. So Reza was going for that, and let's see. Not sure about the pictures. I don't know if the glow enhances or distracts from model. So yeah, normally with the members review, I also, if they want tips and stuff, I'm happy to give them. Now the glow, I do use, so actually that's an interesting thing to critique, is about presenting a photo. And it's not just a photo. Basically what Reza's done is he like cropped out the background of the Phoenix and kind of just gave a generic black background and then added glow. In this case, it just kind of seems like a little bit of a messy graphic design addition. So I don't think it works too well here, especially just how thick this glow is. Maybe if it wasn't so like contrasty, like this, it looks like something that you would just add to like a YouTube thumbnail, where it's just like comically popping. But if you want it as like a nice presentation, I don't know how well this glow helps, because it kind of takes away from the details of the Phoenix itself. Like it's hiding a little bit of the creases. But that's my take. I'm sure there's a better way to use the glow if you still want glow. I think in the past I might have used like a light to give it some backlight, and that just helps show the Phoenix more. Or you can just have an actual background that kind of complements it. But not bad is a Kamiya Phoenix. Very unique shaping. Let's go to the next one, and then also let's see. Boys, do you have or oh no, only mods can. Oh, my bad. Let's see. Kian asked, boys, do you have tips for making more complicated folds? Because I am used to making intermediate folds. Please, any tips? My biggest tip would be to watch the Ultimate Paper Guide and get familiar with making double tissue. That's going to enable you to start working on more complex folds because you have the proper resources to do so. If you can already make double tissue, then you just got to try. It's a little bit of a confidence thing, but the more you fold, the more you'll become familiar with like challenging or hard steps. And once you understand those steps, they get easier and easier, and it'll open more and more complex models for you to be able to fold. Benny, what tutorial are you going to do in the future? After the Sword and Shield, I'm not super sure yet. I'll probably have to decide. I'm kind of down to just work on designing some new models, and then whichever one people really want a tutorial for, then that's what I'll probably do next. Let me put this away real quick. And drink some coffee. What's up, Gavin? He's doing Sword and Shield. Yeah, so I'm doing the Sword and Shield now. And ideally, I get this out, before February. So. Let's see. Wings and hair, just wow. If you wired and installed tiny lighting, is that anti-origami? No, I wouldn't say so. It's just creative, right? Normally there's no problem with doing stuff like that, unless if like the person is lying, right? So, which would be weird with lighting, because if like they installed lighting and it's obviously light bulbs inside, and they're like, oh no, it's the natural paper that's bioluminescent. Yeah, obviously that's not the case. So there's not really any problem. Thanks. Yep. Oh, what's up, Neil? Hello. Ace says I got phobia trying to ancient dragon. Yeah, it's that one's a kind of like a benchmark in the complex origami for sure. There's like just following the diagrams is one thing, but making it look good is an entirely other thing. Benny, using double tissue for models like Shikata's elephant means the elephant won't stand up. Okay, so double tissue will be great for anything. I think for Shikata's models, which are tilted grid, it's a very different type of origami, which doesn't need double tissue. You can use triple tissue. So thicker paper would be better there, but you can still use it. I have a Shukikato Bison that's standing up over on the side with double tissue. So, it works. You just got to be careful. But yeah. Yeah, what's best for the model? True. Just posted something hopefully in time. Oh yeah, Mark, we'll get to it. Malik, yo, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining. And Hershey, thank you for the resub Prime. 7 months. 7 months of support. Thank you, man. That's awesome. All right, so let's continue a little bit. Feel free to keep asking questions, and I'll get to them as we go along. Okay, so here I've been is Nara. Nara's in the chat, and this really popped my eye. I think this is super cool. Okay, so Nara says this is Agniv. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, but it's his most recent design. Agniv is a Sanskrit word which means firestorm. Try making some flames as well and work in some more details in the second test fold. Okay, so this is the first test fold. Also, it's a bit messy because of a lot of unfolds. That's the trial and error of designing. Main focus is showcase a more monk-like character, or some monk-like characteristics, and it's completely based on your imagination. Okay, cool. So this is like an original Nara design in terms of character and origami. In the past, I've talked a little bit about character creation, and that's one of the fun parts of being able to design is you can do some character creation, make some cool stuff like this. So Nara, this is super neat, man. Like we've got this really long spear with this is a cool spearhead. Just type of character. I can see how you're starting to add some details in, but what I like the most is like the pose. The pose, it's like, there's action to it. You've got the hands in the pose. Got the other one from the spear. It's really smart how you've done the spear connection, and even the legs, just like it's floating. Like a Zen before battle kind of vibe. And then also in like the helmet and everything, there's just some details going on. It's nothing too crazy, but it all works together nicely. So I'm excited to see what your second test fold will turn into, because this first one is already looking pretty good, man. I've been watching Nara design for a long time now, and the skill is increasing with every single design. So this is super exciting, Nara. Good stuff, man. Really good stuff. All right. Let's go to the next one. This one is by the plant psychologist. I think many of you know the plant psychologist. And this is for the new year. It's the year of the snake. And Plant decided to make a new hex pleat snake with a very, very efficient hex scale pattern. So first, let's just take a look at the snake. One thing you can notice is Plant is also very good at photography. So just a composition of the photo, the bokeh in the background with the model in a thirds, right? This is rule of thirds here to draw the eye. It's in focus. We've got it in the foreground. We have like a mid to background type thing going, and the colors match. It's not, detracting. It's more neutral in the back so that our saturation just focuses on the snake. And then, of course, the model is insane as well. Look at these scales. They do really look like snake scales. It even enables him to do this type of, snake pose. The eye is crazy, dude. And I think what Plant is really most proud of is this crease pattern, this crazy hex scale tech that he's been working on for a while. This is insane. This is very original to the plant psychologist, right? This is nuts, man. Like look at all this craziness, right? But it's pretty efficient, right? We have this, which is just how long the body is, and then the scales just on the edges. There's no unnecessary gaps or lack of space. It's done very, very well. We can see the the detail, or just the render, the calculated render here. It's just crazy. Here's his old rattlesnake compared to his new one. It's so nuts, man. Yeah, Plant cooking real hard. Also, folding all these scales is not easy either. Dynamic pose. Yes, love Plant. True. Nara says, thanks. Yo, yeah, keep it up, Nara. It's good stuff. Ace asks, how do you hex pleat? So you hex pleat, you just fold a triangle grid, which you can just make a 60-degree crease, right? All right, so to make a triangle grid on a square, it's really easy, right? It's to make a 60-degree angle, you fold in the center, and then you fold a corner to the line. I know you can't see the crease right now, but right, like that. And I think that's 60 degrees, right? And then you do the same thing here. Right, so now you have all three ways, and then you just fold, like if you wanted an 8 grid, you fold this way, right? And then to that line, you fold the same thing with fold the corner, but now you have like a reference point, right? So you see, so then it's a triangle grid. You see the triangle, and then that's how you hex pleat, at least on a square. Very quickly, the eyes are super detailed. Yeah, the eyes are really nice. Yeah, Plant cooked pretty hard with this one. Do you have any tips for design and shaping? I have a lot of tips for design and shaping. That's probably too broad of a question to answer right now, but I talk about it a lot. So maybe in one of my design videos, that'll help you out with some more specific tips. But the easy tip I have for design and shaping is to practice a lot and, look at life for references. So like what we're doing here is I'm kind of doing review of origami, seeing what's good, what's not as good. That's a good way to study and practice without even having to fold. Okay, next up we have David's Creation. This is by Dex. Dex has also been around a lot, so you might know Dex. Dex is working on some crazy complex stuff. So this is a 2-in-1 model. It's an alien xenomorph, and his tail's going around and like pulling a guy in. I'm guessing the dude is about to get eaten. Okay, review and roast the human face if possible. Like, what could I do better to improve my humanoid shaping? Okay, so exactly like this will be what you're asking for, Malik, is here will be some tips and critique on what's not as good. I like to be positive a lot, showcase people, but hey, sometimes people want, hey, tell me what's up. Give me the honest review. Is it good? Is it bad? And even more honest is what is bad about it. And I think knowing what is bad about something can be hard sometimes, but it's a good skill to practice. You want to do it not in a condescending way, just in like a constructive, critique, especially if they're asking. Because sometimes you don't know what is bad. You just know something's wrong. But being able to be correct about what's bad is a good skill to develop. So here we have a human face, and that is primarily what Dex is questioning, and I am going to use this photo since it's a little bit more zoomed in. I think this photo is much worse than the other one, but let's break it down. Let me drink some water before I break this down. And I just dropped my workout. Put this back here. All right, Dex. So, this is something that I think you might want to. Okay, I think I could probably spend a lot longer dissecting this, but I think one easy thing to. Okay, this is this is, since it's close, this is what I'll use this reference. Okay, so I think with faces, something easy to do is just think about how the actual human skull is shaped before you, or as you're shaping the stuff on top. This is something I practice, is just drawing skulls because at different angles. And this isn't perfect by any means. I'm not that great at it, but I've been practicing a bit so that I understand what's going on, especially since I'm trying to work with faces a lot. And that's identifying, the nose, the indentation of the eye socket, where the jaw is, everything like that, how far the chin goes, where the teeth are rooted and then cheekbones, stuff like that, and then the overall shape. And I show that as a little bit of a reference because there are some mistakes that I can easily show. So if I just draw the silhouette of the head here, in terms of what his skull is, it's kind of like this, right? Which is not super bad in the beginning, but what happens is, right, we should have like the eye sockets here before the nose, but let me not use yellow. But what we have then is the eyes are sticking out, right? They're on top of the surface, which isn't correct, right? If you can even look at me, right here, my eyes are in my skull, right? Because it's an eye socket. It should be pushed in, right? So that way we should have some sort of brow ridge, then the nose, right? And then the eye would be inside, not outside. So that will already make your face look a little bit better, is if you can just, instead of having it on the out, push it in. Now I don't exactly know what the character you're going for is looking like, but that's what I'm guessing. The eye ridge is an easy way to do. I do faces almost specifically by having this ridge for the skull right here with the eye socket and then the cheekbones. Over here, right? So now we have the mouth, and then we have the chin, which is like this big. And again, this is different from some people, but if you look at my mouth to my chin, it's pretty small, right? It's not very small. And actually, this is even just vertical, like chin goes all the way here. So I think on like a regular person, it should actually kind of end there. Maybe you can get away with like a little bit lower, but right. This is, again, just understanding how the skull is shaped. It will kind of help with these sort of things, so you can have like a better face proportion. Because like if the chin's all the way down here, and then you have this much space, right? And then it's like that much space to the top here is like, right. It's just like, it's almost flipped proportion. Yeah, I guess another small thing is you can adjust these ratios. Is basically like, this is probably too big, but it just like doesn't go with the whole set. So Dex, that's me like kind of picking this apart. I like that you have an ear here. I think like what I can see is it's shaped like this. Maybe again, people's ears are all a little different, but maybe it should be shaped a little bit more like that. Ears are hard. I've been trying to get an ear on this guy, and it's just like barely an ear because I don't even have a face. It is pretty hard, I will say, to try to get an ear, but at least you have like the start of one, and you might not need to shape it too different. Okay, that was kind of a lot. Hopefully that also helps other people listening in if you want to do that. Let me refresh the page real quick. All right, and we have last submission by Mark. The chin is melting. That's a good way to phrase it, Mark. That's a good way to phrase it. And speaking of Mark, we have Mark Ogami with a fold of the Bodo Pegasus Nightmare version. And this is cool. Look at this. I love the red to black color. A black colored horse with these nice red wings. This is Bodo's Pegasus design, as Mark mentioned. Very nice, like action in the what is this? The mane. It's obviously a flying horse, so it's almost like it's leaping into flight. I get that kind of vibe from it. Very neat, Mark. I like the display stand as well. But yeah, really cool fold, really cool design. This is like something that Bodo had designed after his horse. It kind of shares, similar structure, but instead of having a kanji on the side, Bodo, used some of the paper to make wings instead. So that's really, really neat. Ears are easy if you use a structure for them. True. If you just try to use some random flap like I'm using, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get them to look correct. But yeah, very nice, Mark. This is I like that you say nightmare version. It kind of gives that more edgy vibe to it, especially with the color match. It'll be cool if you add like this into some thematic background, or next to another character that kind of has that spooky vibe, like a Grim Reaper fold or something like that. I think it would pair nicely. Normally people think of a Pegasus as, white and fluffy and stuff like that, like from the Greek pantheon, but this is a nice take on that. Cool. And so that was the origami review for today. We are going to probably now start on the tutorial filming, but I'm hanging out with y'all. So, the tutorial, whatever happens, I'm just going to try to get through part of it. But if you have questions in the chat, I'll do my best to get to them. So let's see real quick. People had to say, Malik's asking about design. Every time I try to design something, I end with nothing. My ideas are probably too hard for me. Yeah, start simple, I would say. Just try to pick, normally I have like the students I teach when they're starting to learn to design, I have them pick a simple subject or an easy subject like an insect, like an ant, or like a bee or a fly. Because it's easier to go from those actually if they have set points. If you have something abstract like a human, especially, that's just going to be too hard because there could be a lot of extra details that you hadn't thought of before, and that's probably not a good way to learn basic design, right? So yeah. Nice drawing, thank you. I have a school design too. Hey, yeah. Yeah, in fact, if you design an origami school, you'll have a good idea of that might be a good practice too. What did I study in college or uni? Did you learn proportions of human anatomy on your own? Yes, I've been learning it on my own. YouTube's great, right? There's a channel called Proco that teaches how academic drawing and anatomy of just specific parts. So there's this face, there's like legs, there's hands, and I've been studying a lot of that to enhance my origami design. Because without it, it's like I have no idea, so I have to practice that. That's part of my practice and study. Is that painted or into paper? Which model were you asking about? I think what I've shown so far, at least Mark's Pegasus was a natural color change. The models I showed were natural color change. Oh, the coloring on Pegasus. I think that's natural color change. Knowing Bodo, it's going to be a natural color change. So, yeah. Origami by Grim. Hello, hello. Thanks for watching the stream. Let me get another sip of coffee and I'll grab my paper so we can start. All right. So the title of this no, I think the title is New Year, New Tutorials. The thumbnail of this live stream was like, oh, how to be an origami YouTuber. Basically, you guys are going to see the behind the scenes of making a tutorial, right? So like, what do I got to check for? The first thing I got to check for is the actual camera quality itself. The visual aspect is definitely the most important part of the videos. So right now, like my hands, white balance is looking good, but when I showed the Phoenix, it was terrible. So let me make sure that when I have the paper on the surface, the creases will be easy to see. Because if the creases aren't easy to see, it's not a very good tutorial. And first I got to find where I put my paper. 1 second. All right. So this is looking okay, actually, and we already have a crease on the diagonal. So I think my settings are actually pretty good for this gray paper. I think it'll be fine. There's a little reflection, but it's not oversaturated or like overexposed. If anything, the highlights of my skin is a little overexposed, but that should be okay. Test the autofocus. It should be okay too. All right, I think we're ready to start. So yeah, once again, this is my sword and shield design. And this paper size actually makes this size of a sword and shield guy. So this is the exact same paper actually the same, like not the same paper, but it's like the same batch of double tissue. And it'll make this size. And since it's a tutorial, I think I am not going to have my face in the corner, so it's not hiding anything when I'm here. But before we do that, I need to film like my intro as to what we're making. So let me do that. Let me see if I can change my saves. Okay, it's saving to the same folder as the Square to Samurai. I think that should be fine. As long as it's recording correctly. Hopefully it'll be okay. All right, so we'll do the intro first. Intros are probably my least favorite thing to do, making YouTube videos, just because it's kind of awkward. But yeah, all right. And Mark says the Pegasus was a red and black double tissue, so it is a natural color change. Okay, here my white balance is kind of weird on this camera, but should be okay for now. You're not going to really be seeing me much. All right, so for my intro, these are mental notes for myself. I got to introduce, what is this video? What are we making? I think I'm going to hold this up for reference right here. The camera is kind of blocking me. So let me lower my seat a little bit. Okay, there you go. Got the microphone. Okay, it's welcome. Hey friends, welcome to the Sword and Shield tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make this guy. One of my favorite designs or what I think is one of my best designs, and I'm excited to bring it to you. Something like that, and then let's get started. All right, something like that. I think that'll work, right? Okay, let me turn off the chat as well. On the screen, I can still see y'all, but everyone else doesn't need to see y'all. Okay, we have a little bit of visual clutter in the background with this, so let me close that. Also, this kind of looks weird in the back too. Let's put that to the side. And okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna try a take. Hopefully just one take should be good. All right. And then what I like to do is I do 3, 2, 1 start, which then helps me edit later because I see the audio waves. All right. 3, 2, 1 start. Hey friends, welcome back to another tutorial, and this is what we're making today. That's right, we are at the sword. This is the Sword and Shield tutorial, the long-awaited Sword and Shield tutorial, which is what I think one of my best designs. So I'm excited to bring it to y'all. Okay, we're gonna do take 2. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. Hey friends, welcome back to another tutorial, and today we are making this guy. That's right, this is the long-awaited Sword and Shield tutorial. It's, in my opinion, one of my best designs, and I'm really excited to bring it to y'all. So, let's get to it. All right, good enough, right? Good enough. Intros, like whenever I'm talking to camera like that, it's like YouTube voice. It almost feels like I'm doing an accent. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't talk like that in real life, you know what I mean? But all right, that's that's over with. The next thing I'm going to talk about is like prerequisites. I think I'm also need to show this. Actually, I need to make this. I need to show what the pre-crease. Okay, so let me actually do that really quick. I meant to do this before, but I missed out. So it's like, what is it that we actually need to pre-crease in this design? And it's going to be like this. We actually don't need to pre-crease like everything. We do pre-crease most of it, but I think what I found is having this pre-crease pattern on my website like helps people when they're approaching the tutorial, or if they just want to skip the pre-creasing portion. They don't get stuck pre-creasing like this crazy stuff in the shield because you really don't need to. And then this. Okay, so that's going to be what we pre-crease. And I'll show that later. Okay, so let's start here talking about prerequisites for this model and like setting expectations. What paper is this? This is double tissue. Oh, Mark's got to head out. Thanks, Mark, for stopping by. Perhaps my next model will be something really cool of this sort. Hey, I like that. I like that. Always good having you here, Mark. I hope you have a great rest of your nights. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, double tissue is great stuff. Oh, what's up, Steve? Stuck in the fold. Hello, hello. Good to see you, man. We are about to start on the tutorial actually. So basically this segment is going to be about explaining to people, what you're going to need for the tutorial, at least this one, and also setting some expectations. What I've learned in tutorials is it's kind of good to set expectations so that I don't get a whole ton of comments, asking about stuff that could easily be covered at the start of the video, such as what paper should I use? How big should the paper be? Is this an easy model? Or what video should I watch before trying this if I want to learn it? So like all those things I can cover just in the first minute of the video. Helps me not have to answer all those questions and helps them because they just hear it immediately. I still get those questions as well. Some people, they'll be like, oh, can I fold this with printer paper? It's like, no, and sorry, you can't, but you can watch the Ultimate Paper Guide and learn how to make your own double tissue. All right, so let's try a take here. 3, 2, 1, start. So before we get into folding, what do you need for this tutorial? So what you can see here is the paper I'm going to use. This is a square of double tissue, which is the paper I recommend for this model. And this paper is a little bit under 50 centimeters. It's like 48 centimeters. And it's the same size I used for this fold. This is like the best size for this model. If you go any smaller, it gets a lot harder. And if you use a paper that's too large, the model gets a little floppy. So this is what I recommend, around 50 centimeters and double tissue, which is, relatively thin. You don't want to use thick paper, don't use printer paper, don't use tissue foil, double tissue. It's pretty easy to come by. Try that. Now, this model is relatively efficient. So if you use a slightly thicker paper, it's okay, or a slightly smaller paper. I've had a few pretty good folds from 35 centimeters, but this is what I recommend. Now, for this tutorial, the knowledge that you're going to need to be able to fold this model is just basic crease pattern knowledge. So if you have absolutely no experience with crease patterns, I recommend you watch my crease pattern class, at least the first few episodes, so you can get familiar with some of the terms I'm going to be using during this tutorial. There's going to be, some pre-creasing, some Elias stretches that we'll go through, and it won't really make sense unless you know how to do those already. This is a complex model. It's not super difficult if you have experience, but if this is your first time doing box pleating, you might find it a little bit difficult. But I'll link in the description a ton of videos as prerequisites if you want to fold this. So go check that out. Don't feel the need to rush into folding this model if it seems too hard. You can watch some of those other videos and practice, and this should be not too bad. So with that said, I think we can start folding. All right, so Ansel asks, where do you get my tissue paper? Anything special? Absolutely not. All I care about is the color of the tissue paper. I've had a ton of people ask me about like quality and stuff like that. I'm sure better quality tissue paper is nice, but I've made so much double tissue, like it really doesn't matter to me. Now, one thing to note is this, I did not make this double tissue. I actually purchased this from someone who makes double tissue because he makes it way better than I do. So this one has like no wrinkles. My double tissue generally has wrinkles. So like this model that I've worked on, try not to link too much, but you can see the double tissue. Well, the model itself is creased up a lot, but there are wrinkles in this double tissue. But ultimately, it's not really going to matter for this model because of its complexity. But if you want something that doesn't have wrinkles, you just got to practice a lot, right? But for me, it's not really a necessary thing. So I just bought the cheapest black tissue paper and chocolate colored tissue paper that I think matches, the person I'm trying to make. Um, and the quality of the tissue paper really didn't matter to me. Um, just the color. Now I that's probably a different take than some people will have, but yeah, it to me it just works. I don't it's not too much different. Okay, so next part of the tutorial will be starting the crease pattern. The crease pattern. Okay, explaining the crease pattern is the next section. Okay, so let me also remove my face from here. Let's move this over here. Okay, I think we can start here. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. Wait, this is not centered. Hold on, let me, there you go. Okay. 3, 2, 1, start. So this is the crease pattern of the sword and shield and what we'll be using to fold. Now on the left is the full crease pattern and on the right is just what you need the pre-crease. So it's based on a 24 by 24 grid, which is something we're going to get into next. But knowing that, you don't have to pre-crease. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I drew this wrong. Let me All right, we're going to cut that clip. This is like this. This one doesn't have a shield. I was like, wait a second, something looks really off. Okay. We're going to redo that. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. And these are, and this. All right, 3, 2, 1, restart. And this is the crease pattern we're going to be using. Nope. 3, 2, 1, restart. And this is the crease pattern for the sword and shield. So on the left, you can see that all the creases are filled out, but on the right is the crease pattern of just the pre-creases. So this model is based on a 24 by 24 grid, which we'll get to folding next. But knowing that, you can see that on the right side, it's not too much to pre-crease. You don't have to do all the crazy stuff on the left. Just the bare minimum is going to be on the right. Now, this will be posted on my website, which there's a link in the description. So refer to that pre-crease crease pattern, and you'll be good to go. All right. Gavin says, I folded sword and shield with printer paper. It failed. It looks somewhat like a knight. Yeah. Don't use printer paper. It's not gonna work. All right. Let me I'll be right back. I'm gonna blow my nose. My allergies are kicking up. But next we're gonna start folding that 24 grid. And normally I don't show that, but like I'm gonna do it really quick. I'm not gonna be filming the whole thing, just so people can have an idea of how to fold thirds, because that kind of stumps some people, but I think they can do it. And if they can't, then they know they can't do the tutorial. All right, so I'll be right back, guys. All right, we're back. It's 1 meter too. Oh, that's way too big. Yeah, no. Like, I think 60 centimeters is the largest you should go. Otherwise, it's gonna start looking really floppy. Yeah, it'll just like look worse and worse, unless you use like a thicker paper. But I don't know. I think this is like the optimal size. You know. Let's see. I'm scared it won't stand. Yeah. I mean, like even with this the tissue paper, the legs are still a little flimsy, but that's why I have the display stand. But it works together like this pretty well. All right, let's put him to the side for now. New to complex origami and most of the way through your square to samurai tutorial. Should I get methyl cellulose for this model in future products? So where to buy it? Yeah, you can if you want, or you can just use glue. If you're not used to wet folding yet, I would probably just use glue for now. And methyl cellulose shaping is a little bit more advanced. Where should I buy it? You can just buy it on Amazon or like a local art store if they have it. But yeah, I have a link on my website. Yeah, thank you, Gavin. I do have a link for it on my website. That is very true. All right, so let's do this grid part real quick. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. All right, so let's start with folding our 24 by 24 grid. Now that's going to start by folding this paper into thirds. And so if you don't know how to do that, I'll show you really quickly. As you can see, we already have a diagonal folded into this square. That's going to be one of the reference points. Next, I'm just going to fold this paper in half. Okay, and then we are going to like do a cut for when I'm folding this paper in half, where it's already folded in half. Let me raise my chair a little bit. Okay, and I'm actually gonna fold in half both ways. And again, I'm gonna edit this section out so that it's not taking so long. Okay, and actually for this section, actually let me finish off the section, and then when we actually start folding, I'm gonna do something where I lock the focus of the camera so the autofocus doesn't keep going in and out, because that'll be kind of annoying for the user. All right, we're gonna resume the clip. Resume. So we said we're gonna fold the paper in half. And after the paper is folded in half, we're going to make another fold. Pay attention to the angle orientation of the paper, and we're going to fold from the corner up to our halfway mark and just make a pre-crease where the diagonal fold crosses like this. And normally I don't fold all the way through. I just fold at the corner here and the corner of the paper. Just so it's lined up. And then gently push the paper down. Add a little bit of a crease right here. And this is 1/3 of the paper. So now I'm going to fold along that crease. And that gives us our thirds. All right, so I'm going to cut the clip there, fold the rest of the thirds, and then I'll talk about the next steps. And let me change my camera. Manual focus. Okay, yeah, this is pretty good. Yo, boys, I just completed your bunny girl. Oh, thank you. Thanks for folding that one. That one's a cool design as well. It's not box pleated. And I think it uses the paper pretty uniquely for the dress. That's a pretty fun one to fold. Also good with double tissue. What's up? Oh, yo, it's Simon. Hello. Fine Simon Art. Good to see you, man. It's been a little bit. Hope you're doing well. Not sure if you've been folding much, but hope you fold something soon. All right, one more third, and then we'll film the next clip. Folding 6ths and 12ths. So yeah, a lot of times, even with tutorials, when you make YouTube videos, you want to think of the pacing of the video. So that's why I'm not showing myself do this entire grid, because it would just drag out the video unnecessarily. And I already have a grid tutorial if people need that. So we're just pacing this part really quick to get as much information across as possible. That doesn't matter so much. And then that way we can focus on actual folding and pre-creasing part, which does matter. Okay, so we have this unfolded. I'm going to start my next section. That's some nice crispy paper. Yeah, this is a pretty good double tissue here. Speaking of double tissue, Nara, I believe you're selling double tissue now. Is that right? Congrats on that, by the way. That's pretty cool. Simon, what am I folding? I am folding my sword and shield. This is going to be the tutorial for this model, which is pretty fun. We're doing the tutorial and the live stream at the same time. Ralph and Paper Planes. Hello, boys. Long time no see. Hey, yes, I am back. Thanks for tuning into the stream. I'm going to be trying to stream most Fridays. Probably won't be every week, but I'm going to try. Might be like every other week, but there'll be an announcement at least the day before if there is a stream happening. So I'll try to be on top of that. Will you make a tutorial for Crunchyroll Hime or Hutao? No, I don't think so. I think my crease pattern class should let you do the Hutao pretty easily. The Crunchyroll Hime, that's actually a pretty complex design because there's like a inverted flap that does the color change. If you've seen the video I made about making that, you can see me fold some of the hard parts in there. But that one's just a little bit too difficult. It's not, I don't basically have the time to make a tutorial for that because it'll be very hard to show. Eric, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Narcissus, thanks. Not just double tissue, some practice paper and tools as well. It's not completed yet, though. It's ongoing. Oh, cool, man. Hey, I'm glad you're starting that up, though. That's super exciting. I think that'll be very beneficial for people in your area for sure. Yeah, sorry, Mia. Yeah, those designs are a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie. A little difficult because the designs are a little bit janky. The Hutao not so much. It's just a bunch of outside reverse folds for the color change, but the shaping is a little bit weird. Okay, let's keep going real quick. Let me click the record button. It's not working for some reason. Is my stream still alive? Yep. That's not good. Why isn't it working? Hopefully it's been recording something. 124. Okay, it is recording things. That's good. OBS, why? Why aren't you working? Okay, maybe I can get... Yeah, I mean, what I can probably do is just use the stream recording as part of the video. It just won't be as high quality. I guess for this section, it's not too bad. It's really annoying though. Why can't I record? Okay, maybe I can attach it to a button so I can record. Okay, hotkeys. Start recording. Let's bind this to 9. Okay. Stop recording. We'll bind it to 0. Let's try this. Is it recording? I don't know. Okay, if I stop it, then it should save a new file, right? I might have broken my thing. Okay, that's okay. We'll just keep going for the tutorial. I think it should be fine as long as I record or I download the recording from YouTube. All right, 3, 2, 1, start. So we've completed folding thirds on all sides and we're ready to move on to sixths. And so as you can tell, all of these have been valley fold so far. We want our grid to be like that. It'll make things easier in the end. And if it's valley fold this way, and for some reason you're using a 2-colored paper, this is not going to be the side of the color for your model, right? With the valley folds, it's going to be on the other side. So keep that in mind. Now, what we're doing here is folding an accordion grid. I have a tutorial on that already, which I'm going to link below. So I'm just going to quickly just tell you what to do here, but not show the whole thing. We're going to be folding sixths as valley folds on all sides, right? So here to here. After that, we're going to fold twelfths, also valley fold. And after the twelfths, okay, and then I'm going to stop there and do a cut and show when I have the 12ths folded. And then I'm going to continue it later and be like, after the 12ths, we need to fold 24ths, but with mountain fold. Okay, so let's finish these 6ths and 12ths pretty quickly. The nice thing about this only being a 24 grid is we don't have to spend too much time gridding, unlike the Square Twist Samurai, which is 48 and it takes absolutely forever. Is this harder than the Ryujin 1.2? Probably for shaping because it's a human figure, so it's harder to make it look good, but it's easier to fold, I think. That tends to be the thing with like humans, is most of the time human models are harder to shape to make them look good, and that's kind of subjective, right? But at least with like a Ryujin 1.3, like you don't, or 1.2, there's not really anything you have to do after it's done being folded. Like you could shape it a lot, but like if you don't shape it, it's not necessarily going to look bad. If you don't shape this model, it will look bad, is like the difference. Have you tried any of Jason Merrill's jets? No, I haven't. Now I folded some of Tadashi Mori's jets. And that was during the last live stream I did, I think, where I did a little speed run. That's pretty fun. I did fold paper planes in the past before I really got into origami, but like at this point, it's not as much my thing. They do look pretty cool, though, I will say. All right, we are like a third the way done with this grid segment. Yeah, Jason commented on my recent video, actually. I don't know if you all saw that. It was about the origami pirating and just like my take on pirating. And more so the importance of just not disrespecting the authors. But if you want the full clip of that, which I think is very good to listen to, you can check out the video that's related. I go more in depth because, like I kind of mentioned, I understand why some people would pirate, but it's not necessarily a good thing, right? But like, can't change the way the world is. But what's not okay is promoting it. And that very much disrespects the authors and the books themselves. But Jason, he was like, he supported my view, which is cool. Jenny Campos asks, hello, why are you interested in origami? I like origami because I think when you take a two-dimensional object such as a paper and can turn it into a 3D object that is completely something else, you know, that kind of action is really cool to me. So that's why I like origami. You're taking something with a lot of constraints and creating something completely new that's three-dimensional. And there's not a lot of art mediums that do that. That takes a 2D thing and makes it 3D. And like without adding to this, it's a subtractive art, right? We have the paper and that's it. We can't add another square, or generally, well, some you can, but like I don't. That's my rule for myself in my designs, and I think that's very fun. Great question. Mariana Zavala needs to watch your pirating video. True. He's blocked me though, so I don't think he'll ever watch my videos. But that's okay. Help! I need some Hu Tao tutorial or some sorts, I guess. Yeah, you want the Hu Tao tutorial too? If you can read crease patterns, you can solve the Hu Tao crease pattern. It's not too hard. I don't think. I think it's only a 32 grid. And I don't think there's anything super weird about it either. I don't remember doing anything super cursed. The hat might be a little bit weird to shape, but I think everything else is pretty normal. I just ripped a hole in the paper with my fingernail on accident. Hopefully it's a small... I think it's in the middle of the paper, so it won't really matter. Yeah, you can't even see it on the camera, I don't think. Yeah, you can't see it. Okay. I tried, but it looks nothing like it. Yeah, that one, it's a lot of shaping. Will you ever make other Genshin characters? I think so. You know, last year I had a plan to do a lot of Hoyoverse characters. So like I did a lot of I started with the collaboration for Honkai Star Rail with Mr. Pokey. Oh, excuse me. And that was going pretty well. And I wanted to expand to some of the other content creators, but you know, what I realized is, you know, a lot of them are very busy and I'm still a little bit too small of a content creator, I guess, to be worth the time to collab with a little bit. And it's not like on them. Like I kind of get it. It's like I'm in an outstretched field and their strategy is to kind of stay internal to what they're used to. I wanted to see if I could crack into, you know, that community a bit, but it's very hard, very, very hard. So, now there's some really cool Genshin characters to design. So it might just be like, I would just do it because it's fun. But I don't have a specific one in mind at the moment. Yeah, Hu Tao is kind of a cool, quirky character in Genshin, so that's why I designed Hu Tao. I also have a C1, R1 Hu Tao, so right, that makes sense. Same thing with those Honkai Star Rail characters, is made sure to pull for the characters I made as well. I was thinking of doing the Pyro Archon, but her outfit doesn't quite, like, that would be really, really hard with origami. Not impossible, but it just is kind of hard to make it really known that it's her. Whereas like Hu Tao has some very discrete features, like her hat, that make it really easy to tell it's a Hu Tao. So we'll see. We'll see. If there's a cool character design I like, maybe we'll go for it. But Klee would be cool. I don't have Klee. I think someone's made a Klee. So like there's a group of origami designers that make a lot of Genshin characters. So, you know, Obelisk is the #1 Genshin creator who's like gets hired by Hoyoverse to make Genshin origami. And then there's a few others of us and we're all friends. I think one of them's made a Klee. Not sure. But yeah, for a while we were trying to design a whole bunch. Like K Morsue, he's done a few. He's got a Jean. He's done some Honkai Star Rail characters. A Kaching, stuff like that. Oh, some chat people talking to each other. That's really cool. All right, sorry, I missed some chat. You said the design was scuffed on my website. Did I say that? Okay, wait. Let me. I mean, I believe it. Let me. What is this? Let me look at the crease pattern again. Oh. Oh, it is a little scuffed. Yeah, this part, these are inverted flaps. Just kidding, there are inverted flaps. Okay, so like this is her hand. You color change it so that you have the skin color with the sleeves. This is like the back of her coat. And then like hair, face. Oh, it is pretty scuffed actually. Which one's the hat? Oh, this is the hat. Yeah, just kidding. This one's kind of weird. My bad. It is worse than I remembered it being. Okay, we have the 12ths done. So now I'm going to explain the 24ths. But let me show you Hu Tao. Yeah, this is pretty scuffed actually, now that I look at it again. I mean, it looks cool from the front. The sides and the back, you can see how thick things get. Even the hat is kind of weird. Yeah, it's pretty scuffed. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Is the crease pattern on the website? Yeah, it should be. So the other thing, I think at the time when I was doing Hu Tao, I was trying to work on hairstyles and see which ones I could do. So that was like a very brute forced way to do like twin tails. And not the greatest design out there, but I'm glad people like it. Try to see what it looked like collapsed. In a pattern. I don't think it'll collapse in the app. I don't think this is flat folding. Ooh, yeah, no, it's not. Oops. Oops. I have a friend I know who would love it as a birthday present. Oh man. Maybe I'll have to make a better one in the future or something like that. But I do not know. Origami dinosaurs are underrated. True. They're very cool. I've been working on Giganotosaurus by Shuki Kato for like over a year now. Hopefully I'll finish it one day. What's the most advanced origami you've made? The most advanced thing I made was the Jack in the Box. Advanced thing? I guess the Ryujin, I think. Probably still the most advanced thing I've made. Oh, okay. Before we go on, I'm getting a little distracted, but that's okay. So I self-gifted myself something over the holidays, over Christmas. This was like my Christmas gift to myself. Um, this is Robert Lang's Pegasus design, and it's a bronze cast by Kevin Box. So if you aren't familiar with Kevin Box, he has made like the giant bronze casting of Robert Lang and Beth Johnson's designs. So there's like a life-size version of this in some garden, and there's like a bunch of these bronze cast stuff. If you watched my 2022 Origami USA convention vlog, you'll see me like I've set up some of those because the boxes were special guests. And it just so happened that I was at, or I live near an art gallery that was having some of these for sale, the big ones. But I noticed on the salesman's desk that they had a small one, and I obviously can't afford. I maybe not obviously, but I definitely can't afford the big ones. They're super expensive, like anywhere between like $8,000 and $15,000. But the small one, still not that cheap, but I can afford it. So I bought this. This is adding to my collection of origami related things from other people that I purchase. And I will be bringing this along with me to origami conventions that I go to so I can display it with my other folds in my collection from like Bodo and at Dark Phoenix from Mayu, and the Anisei models. So it'll also be a nice way to have this art showcased around wherever I go with people. The nice thing about this being small is that it fits very easily and safely for traveling. But pretty cool, huh? Robert Lang and Kevin Box. I wanted to make one of your designs for OBC by Origami Say. What's the last name so I can write to you? You can just do Origami by Boyce. I think that'll be fine. The OBC people know me. If you just put my first name, they'll know who I am too. Hi, boys from India. Hello. Thanks for saying hi from India. Thanks for watching. I'm glad you're here. Eric, you asked, have I folded the JSL? I've not. I've thought about it and I almost started, but I just don't have time to spend on the JSL. That's a big project. Have I ever tried making Finn Jackson's mask? Yes, I've folded a few, and I actually own one from Finn himself. And I actually was supposed to pick it up from my other location I live because I was going to add that to the collection to bring around as well, but I completely forgot. But I've shown it in some streams from like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But yeah, they're pretty cool. Show the Finn Jackson stuff. I don't know if I have any of my folds here. Let me see. Yeah, no, I think they're all at my old place. So I don't have them on me at the moment, unfortunately. But I'll try to remember next time I'm there to pick it up so I can show you guys. Because it's pretty cool. When will your sword and shield tutorial? Oh, I'm making it right now, Samarth. I know I'm like very distracted right now and just chatting with y'all, but I'll get to like we probably won't finish it in this stream, but this is like the start of it, and then like some behind the scenes, and I'll make it very like soon. Like the first part should be done by next week. Yeah, no, I don't think I have any of the. I have like practice folds of like really tiny masks, but that's just out of like Kami. That's not really the same. Did you make the D2 or buy it? This one I bought. That's why it looks so good. The ones I make don't look this good. All right, so let me go to the next part of this tutorial, and then as I'm folding, I'll be talking to you guys because that's all I need. Okay, so the next part for this clip, let me see if my recording works now. Still not working. Okay, that's fine. All right. 3, 2, 1, start. I think the last thing I said was the 12th, right? All right, well, I'll overlay the audio. Same thing for the 12ths. And the same thing for folding the 12ths. And now the 12ths are done. So to do the 24ths, we're actually going to flip the paper over. So you can see all those valley folds we made are now mountain folds. And we're going to do the 24ths as valley folds here. So we get an accordion grid. Right? So, oh, I just realized I said something wrong about the color of the paper in the previous step. Okay, I'm just gonna have to edit that out and not include it. Okay, should be fine. I'll add it to this. Okay, so let me restart this. 3, 2, 1, start. And do the same thing for the 12ths. And now we're done with the 12ths. Now, this side that we have the valley folds on is actually the color that is going to be our model. So if we started in this way with the color up, that's going to be good if you happen to be using a 2-color paper. Now, I recommend not to do that. It's better with a 1 solid color piece of paper just to be cohesive. But our next step is to fold 24ths, which I'm actually going to flip the paper over. And we're going to be folding the 24ths valley fold on this side. And I like to do this because I can grab the creases we just made and fold it up to the next crease we see to divide each section in half, which to me results generally in an accurate grid. And this will also make an accordion grid, which again, I have a full tutorial for that in the description if these steps didn't make sense. So let's finish our 24 grid. This is like the prerequisite for folding the tutorial. So if you found this hard, practice it a little bit more before continuing. If this is easy, go ahead and finish your grid. Stop. Okay, now we're done. Now I'm just gonna keep finishing grid and I'll keep answering y'all's questions. Folding your head empty, but because the paper is bad, but can't. Yeah, the head empty it's a harder model than people realize. Daniel asks, have I made Origami by Robert Lang? Oh, I think you just missed it, Daniel. This is actually a Robert Lang model by Kevin Box. So it's a bronze cast, and it's a collaboration between Robert Lang and Kevin Box. Oh, okay, so I guess I didn't make this, but I own it, right? That's pretty cool. I've made quite a few Robert Lang models. I've made I've taken many classes from him in person, and then I've folded a lot from his books. I've done a lot of Origami Sea Life. That was my favorite book, both him and John Montrol. And then I do plan to make one of his models. Like, I haven't folded a Robert Lang model in a while, but he has a hex pleated poison dart frog that I really want to make. And I haven't seen very many people make that, so I'm very interested in making it. I just need to find a time to do so. Maybe that'll be one of my goals this year, is to finish that. That would be pretty cool. It's impossible to get good paper here. Where are you? Because I don't think it's impossible. I actually have a quiz on my website, obb.design/skill issue, and it helps people find good enough paper, which is double tissue, almost everywhere in the world. Because I know people from most places in the world, and they're able to get paper for not too expensive. Now, it gets harder in some countries, but it's definitely not impossible. India, okay. Yeah, so India, actually, we have Nara, who is opening a shop that will sell paper for India. But if you saw earlier in the stream, which you might not have, but we reviewed some of Nara's folds, and he's a very advanced and complex designer. But he, his store is going to be able to make it a lot easier for people in India to get paper, I think. So not impossible. Not as easy as other places in the world, but many people in India do use double tissue. Tajikistan, yeah, that one is going to be a little bit harder for sure, unless you make it. That is true. But yeah, tissue paper is common enough, I think, that generally it's everywhere in the world. I'll look for it. Cool. I'm sorry that trained my limit, that Finn Jackson crease pattern thing. Why is there no playback? Is there no playback? Okay, it might. I don't know if I have that. I think I have that disabled for some reason. That, or it's like a session thing. But this stream will be saved. So once I'm done streaming, you'll be able to watch back. If you use one-sided paper with the white, will the white show for this one? That's a good question. I think so. I think the legs are a different color. And maybe the shield. Maybe not the shield. I can't remember, actually. But I think the legs will, which are kind of awkward. Oh. Wait, try to see that link. I don't see any links. I don't think I allow links into chat, actually. I only have one-sided jumbo paper. No. Mia, if you are in the United States, you can go to Paper Tree's website, and they sell jumbo origami paper that's single colored. Although that might not be the best paper for this design. I think it's surely possible, but it's not that great. I think it'll rip. But again, double tissue, guys. I highly recommend to watch my ultimate paper guide video and, learn to make your own double tissue. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Like, normally the stuff I use is really wrinkly. But as long as you know how to make double tissue and how to cut out squares, you can literally fold anything you want. You will no longer be limited by buying paper, What are we going to do? Can't spend much because I'm new to this. Maybe in the future. Yeah. that's part of it too. I actually include that in my quiz as one of the skills to learn is like, hey, it's okay. Like sometimes in life, you just gotta study hard so you can get a job and work at the job so then you can save enough money to buy some materials for origami. Yeah, again, that's just part of life. You know, kind of the point I've reached in my life is that's a lesson I learned as well. To be able to do this, you know, I had to study hard and work hard, and now I can buy origami paper. But I did also teach myself to make it as well. And for a long time, I didn't have access to that paper either, or I didn't know about it, or know about the access, or couldn't buy it. So I did use whatever I had at the time. And even if the paper wasn't recommended, if I try to, you know, get my skills good enough at that paper to make it work. You know, you can do that. You can only go so far with that, I think, but it prevents you from just stopping altogether. So, you know, can't always be like the instant gratification. Sometimes it does take a little while to either learn or just get yourself access to the materials. But I encourage you that if you think this is worth it and it's really fun for you, then you should definitely try. Okay, so that's one set of 24ths. And we have the next set of 24ths. Realms asks, is it normal to have so much wrinkles in double tissue, and does it affect the model anyway? If not, any tips for no wrinkle double tissue? Realms, you should watch my I keep mentioning it, the ultimate paper guide tutorial, because I include so much knowledge on all the tricks I've picked up of over time for the, you know, closest you can get to not having wrinkles. Now I'll say mine is pretty wrinkly. It doesn't matter that much. I don't want to leak this model too much. I've shown it quite a bit, but it really doesn't matter depending on what you're folding. You know, if you're trying to fold like a really nice tessellation, maybe it matters. If you're folding a complex human, probably doesn't matter. You know, someone mentioned my Crunchyroll Hime. This one is wrinkly. You can't tell, right? Especially in camera, you can't tell. Now this is partly because of the white paper, but the orange, right? That's wrinkly. You can't tell. The wrinkles kind of make the textures better. Yeah, I guess so. Can I treat paper with white glue instead of MC? You can try. It kind of works. You just have to make sure it doesn't stick to the surface you're gluing it on. But it will have similar effect. You just have to dilute the glue a little bit. And it's going to be a little bit harder to work with. But it is possible. My first double tissue, I tried with white glue. And it enabled me to fold Robert Lang's Tarantula for the first time. Because I'd failed to do it with regular paper. That was the model. It was Robert Lang's Tarantula. I couldn't do it with like really cheap, bad paper. So I decided to try to learn. And I didn't have MC. So I used white glue. And I did it on my garage floor because I didn't have a surface. And it stuck to the garage floor. But eventually I got one where it wouldn't stick. Garage floor is really bad, by the way. Don't do that. I think I then transferred it to like a cardboard thing and like lifted it enough times so it wouldn't stick. But it worked. It's not great. So like I don't do that now, obviously, but if you just need to start, right? If you want to try starting, you can try that. It almost feels illegal to have a square twist tutorial for free. I'm glad you guys enjoy it, man. I mean, that was like a celebration one. So the years of hard work into the YouTube channel kind of has paid for the Square Twist Samurai tutorial, because all of y'all have supported me for quite a bit of time. So I'm glad to provide that for you. And there's actually a lot more people who have successfully folded it than I thought there would be. I thought it would be too hard. But I think I did I kind of spent a lot of time making sure that tutorial was as best as I could make it. And like that the folding sequence was not too crazy. And just at least so people could understand what's going on. I think it worked out. What's the grid for the 4 nights? Oh, do not fold the grid. It's not grid. It's 22 and a half, and Eric's right. It's just a bunch of sinks. It's a really bad design. I would not fold it. I don't even remember the ratio, like the reference points. Actually, I don't even remember. What's the base word 4 nights? I wouldn't do that one. That's probably my worst origami design. Have I made Kusudama? I have, Daniel. I've potentially made the world's hardest Kusudama for a competition that I got second place in. This is natural color changed. Natural color change tessellation on a Kusudama. This is probably the last Kusudama I will ever fold, though. I feel like I've done enough with that one. Yeah, I did the 4 nights for the death battle. Big mistake. I lost that round too. Someone asked me about hobbies I do. If you watch my shorts, you'll see my other hobby. The one I don't mention much is I like rock climbing. I don't share that one too much. But let's see. This is my other hobby is martial arts tricking. So it's like flips and kicks and stuff. This is kind of just like a goofy combo. Let me see if there's a better one. Okay, this one's like a little bit more difficult. It's my other hobby. CJ makes and sells DT at Paper Tree. Now sell color Kozo as well. Yeah, guys, Paper Tree. I mentioned Paper Tree already for the single color origami jumbo paper. I'm a big fan of. It's like 30 centimeters. It's great. Sandra also mentions that they're selling double tissue. So if you want to buy double tissue, you can get it there as well. And color Kozo. What GSM range is best for this model? I would say between 20, which is what this double tissue is, and like 35. So like 35 is what I taught at the Origami USA convention. It's a little bit thick, but it's still possible. If you use the thicker paper, it just needs to be a little bit over 50 centimeters. Or it's going to be like physically hard to shape it well. Maybe. Yeah, Paper Tree is great. Currently at Paper Tree, if you visit, you can see some of my models on display, as well as buy the little dragon diagrams, which I am actually sending a restock tomorrow. That should be pretty cool. He has all his backflips in my shop merch page. Yeah, true. I did my merch video doing tricks. That's fire. Thank you. All right, let me finish up this grid a little bit and I'll keep responding to questions. How do you join a death battle? So if you're part of the Discord, which again, you have to be age 13 or older to join for terms of service. But about once a year, we'll have signups for the death battle. And then you just get put into a bracket and you start going. So like if you're in the Discord, you'll see the notification for when it's starting again. I think normally it starts during the summer so that people are out of school and have some time to work on it. And it'll go through most of this, what people's summer vacations are, depending on how many participants there are or how late people are for submissions. I folded Joe Nakashima's 48 grid spider. Think I could do the square samurai twist. Ooh. I think you should try my Samurai version 3 first. If you can do the Samurai V3, then you can do the square twist Samurai. I think jumping straight to it is pretty hard. The square twist Samurai is the hardest tutorial on my channel. And the 48 grid, it's not just because it's a 48 grid, there's so many details in the 48 grid, and some of those transition folds you don't really see anywhere else commonly. So it's kind of confusing and difficult for people. If I fold a plane in 45 or so minutes, how much would that cost? So if you're referencing my origami collection video, for one, it has to be your origami plane design to even be considered for like sale or value, I guess, just out of respect for origami designers. But the cost minimally would be the minimum wage of where you live, or times the time. So whatever that is, plus 45 minutes. Or it's like the material cost. But the real answer is the value is whatever you set it technically, if you're able to sell it to people. And that depends on a whole other aspect of like branding and business and who's your audience and have you made sales before, or are you trying to sell to specific types of people, or are you trying to sell to anyone? So there's a lot of factors. You know, price and value is very subjective, but ultimately it comes down to, has it sold for a value? And generally you can benchmark something's value with precedent based on that. But if it's never sold before, it's a little bit hard to gauge. But again, at that point, I just recommend you set the value what you think it's worth to yourself, and that you're willing to part with, and that you think someone would pay for it. That's like the most real answer I can give. Paper Tree is amazing. People there are great and friendly. They have all of. Yeah, it's such a cool store. I need to visit again soon. The first time I made origami, it made me happy because I felt like making art for the first time. Yeah, hey, that is valid. I agree with that sentiment. The first time I've ever folded something, it like felt so magical to me to like be able to create an object out of just paper. And the first thing I ever made, I think, was like a boat that my dad showed me, like a very traditional boat. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. That, or it was like the newspaper hat or something like that. It was so sick. I am into Discord. Oh, okay. If you're into Discord, then yeah, just pay attention for the next time the announcement comes around for the death battle. It'll be in like the news tab, and the whole channel should probably be pinged. Rails. Boy, should I learn crease patterns when I have no complex diagram knowledge experience? I can't afford books, and online diagrams are mostly intermediate or easy. Yeah, absolutely. Learn crease patterns. Honestly, like I've known some origami folders who are like beginner and intermediate level. Like they haven't done any complex stuff, but they've picked up the crease pattern class pretty easily. And then because of that, they can fold complex stuff, right? They just folded enough crease patterns, and at the end of the day, again, it's just like it's not a difficulty check. It's a comprehension check. Like, do you understand what's going on? And once you understand what's going on, it all solves itself. Like everything becomes a lot easier. or a lot less intimidating. It's a lot less scary. And you can fold some pretty complex models just with that. Nara asks, how much should I sell my dye paper though? What's a reasonable price? Nara, that's a good question. You're in a pretty unique scenario. I would try not to make sure it's worth your time. This is the hardest thing with paper. So I'll give a little bit of a background. The reason now I buy paper a lot, especially like double tissues that people make, and or this especially, yeah, I guess I still do this now. Actually, I still do this now. I want to support people who are selling and making paper, because I know it's hard, and I also want to see if they're able to do it sustainably for themselves. So like I don't know if this is mean or nice, but I used to put in very big orders of paper to help test for the person if they can like fulfill that order, and how well they can do it. So some people have been able to do it very well, very easily for a reasonable price, like this double tissue. Some have not. There's some people actually who they never gave me my paper, even though I paid quite a lot of money, just because they were unable to do it with the time. I don't hold it against them. It's just realistic. But at the end of the day, I still supported them to try, because I think it's important for more people to try, especially if they're willing to do it. Now, Naras, you're in India. I don't know what shipping is like in India or how easy it will be to get paper to people around you. But I think, knowing the population in India is generally young for complex origami, you want to be able to make sure that at least some people are able to buy it. You could go for like a slightly higher price than you think would be normal, just because it takes time for you to make. And I know you can't have the time to make it for hundreds of people, right? So you're almost filtering your audience a little bit so that you can give good service to the ones who can buy it. But I would just play around, maybe ask your friends around you that would buy from you, something that could be fair, that they think that's also fair to you. So I don't know like exact amounts in your currency, but that's my advice for sustainably running a paper shop. I don't have too much great experience, but this is stuff I've witnessed from just like not companies, but like individuals making paper and selling it. It's a little different, and there's quite a few people who have done that. That's my advice to start, at least. Okay, Daniel, have you seen or made origami Hatsune Miku? I have. This is the Simple Miku by Obelisk. I think it's on his YouTube channel. I thought it was a really unique and cute design, so I tried folding it. It's really cool, man. It's honestly a really cool design. I think it's on his YouTube channel. Sandra says, yes, or Como says, yes, boys, you could visit us during Origami Palooza last weekend of August this year. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Last week of August. Occasionally, I'm out of town. I think I was in Mazama, Washington last year. I'll keep that in mind and see if I can plan around it. I'm still kind of deciding what trips I'm doing this year, but I'll keep that in mind. That'd be a lot of fun. I saw all the photos from Origami Palooza last year, and it looked pretty great. That's why I got into Origami Wednesday too. Oh, sweet. Voice, please come to Origami Palooza. Okay, I'll see. I'll see if it works out on my schedule. It's not too far away from me, but yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. It's a good idea to sell other people's designs, but also giving credit to them. People in Mary know some origami tours. That'd be a good idea. I would not sell other people's designs unless you have permission. So, some people are very chill and they'll let you. But I would ask first. And if they say no, or if they don't respond, then don't. And at minimum, if instead of selling it, you can ask the person you're giving it to just buy the origami paper for you, right? So that would be one way to get origami paper is like, hey, if you want me to make like this really cool dragon, if you buy me the origami paper, I'll fold it, right? And that's fair. That's fair. But like out of respect for designers, I wouldn't sell the folded piece. That just doesn't feel good. Getting paper around is quite easy, but shipping is expensive. Ah, I see. I see. So that might be the thing you have to think about. You know, maybe it's like you can do a bulk order of like 5 to 10 papers to make the shipping worth it, something like that. Where do I start learning crease patterns? I need to have crease pattern class, but it's not enough. I think it's enough to start. If you've folded diagrams before, the purpose of that class is to be the place for people to start. And then just look on, you know, Discord for crease patterns. Right, like in the origami Discord, right? Like we have a channel called Instructions in Crease Patterns, and people just share their crease patterns and stuff that there's just like a lot of free content out there and some really cool stuff. Right, this is a hex pleated crocodile. Right, that's super cool. This is a crazy shrimp, I think. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff you can find for free on the Discord. Here's the hex pleat scales. Right, you can ask kindly. Sometimes people will refer you to stuff. There's a channel for what to fold, I think, like folding suggestions. So right, if you want a specific like, hey, I don't know the model, but I'm new to crease patterns and I want like a decent one to practice on, then people can help you out here. It's good stuff. Okay, let me do the next part. Actually, you know what? I think okay, I'm gonna do the next segment to introduce pre-creasing for the tutorial. I think it's just going to be faster for me to finish the tutorial without the stream, but I'll just hang out with you guys and answer questions because we're having some good conversations now, and I want to keep that up. Y'all keep asking questions. So let me record this real quick, and then and then I don't have to worry about the tech issues. Okay, 3, 2, 1, start. And we have our 24 grid done, and as you can see, it's mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. So it's accordion grid. We are ready for pre-creasing. So grab that pre-crease crease pattern, which is on my website and linked in the description. Just have that on your phone, or you can like print out a picture to refer to, because I'm going to be pointing to where we're pre-creasing using that as reference. Okay, so that's the clip. Let's just put that to the side. Have this here for fun. Okay, let's see more of chat. Okay, where do okay, I answered that. That's a good idea. Don't have diagram. You don't have that. Okay, if you don't have diagram knowledge, if you folded Joe Nakashima, like his intermediate stuff, if you can fold the Joe Nakashima spider, or his dragon, right, then that should be enough. Actually, yeah, you don't really need diagram knowledge at all for crease patterns. What should I make first? The DPA sword and shield or square twist? Oh, okay, that's a good question. I guess the square twist samurai, because actually both technically have tutorials. The DPA sword and shield is really hard to shape, harder than the square twist samurai, but it's not as hard to fold it. Actually, I don't know. That's a good question. Like if you understand the crease pattern enough, maybe do the sword and shield if it's fun, but otherwise do the square twist samurai because there's a better tutorial. What model do you suggest to fold? If my most complex is Tatashi Mori's Darkness Dragon 2. So the very first video on my channel is actually me folding the Darkness Dragon. That was my first time folding it. The next thing you should try, maybe, I think the next thing I did immediately after that, if you want to be the same as me, which you don't have to, but if you want to be the same as me, try his Charizard, the Tadashi Mori Charizard. That one I think is a little harder than the Darkness Dragon, actually. Sorry, I lost my Discord, but I don't want to use it again. Well, it is what it is. Discord link. Yeah, let me put the Discord link in the chat. Okay, there you go. Wait, did it not work? Oh, that didn't work. Hold on. um, wait, is it not working? What's going on? The server invite link is not working for me. Is it because I'm in streamer mode right now? It might be because I'm in streaming right now that it's not working. Okay. I'll have an invite link in the comments after the stream's over if I can figure it out. It's kind of weird. I don't know why it's doing that, but oh well. Smart. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. Good stuff. Okay, use Oriedit best. Yep. Use BP Studio. That's for designing. But yeah, Oriedit is the one that I use. So that's this one. I find it super useful, especially for drawing. In fact, like for a lot of my students, I have them get used to this software by copying crease patterns into this and checking if it's correct. So I definitely recommend this software. What program did you use to make this crease? Yeah, so that's Oriedit. That one I can put the link in. That link should work. Oops, Oriedit. Here, let's pin that. Looks good. Yeah, there's a lot you can do in the software. On the website, there's like a tutorial for it too, so you can get used to it. But like, yeah, again, there's a lot of useful stuff. I think even in here, right? Like, I did this whole thing. I make my packing crease patterns. You can like, if I want the sword in the other hand, right? Like you can reflect the whole crease pattern like this, right? Very, very useful. You can generate flat folds. Imagine someone makes an origami Baldi, if you know who that character is. I don't think I know who that is. Cool, thanks. We got asked out. Yes. Yeah, it's a good software. It's developed by reputable origami artists as well. So it's kind of become the standard. It's not maybe in the world, but at least in America, it's like the standard tool that we use for teaching people a lot of crease pattern stuff. If you have other questions about it, Como, let me know. You can send me a message. I'll give some more details if you need it. Boys, have you ever made Tree Maker by Robert Lang? I actually haven't. So Tree Maker, it's cool. And there are ways to translate the Tree Maker tree into like a box plate interpretation. The plant psychologist knows how to do that. I forget what the conversion is, but generally I don't really need it because if I wanted to design something, I understand the theory enough to do it myself, if that makes sense. So sure, it doesn't make an optimal, circle packed model, but Tree Maker is specifically for circle packing for the most part. So like if you watch my design videos, a lot of times I started design by let's see, where is it? What's something I can show without leaking stuff? No, not this one. This one? Okay, yeah. So like the Bialu design. Right? I don't need Tree Maker to do this, right? I draw the tree myself and then I draw the packing myself. Right? So like there's BP Studio which can also do this for you, but again, like I just like to do it myself. I find it fun, right? And it also helps my understanding of stuff, and it helps me like I can do some things that are not as efficient that hold on. I'm trying to think of what I can show. Okay, maybe I can show this one. So I can no, not even this one. I can show this one, I think. Okay, yeah. So for example, this right here is something that I don't think Boxplate Studio would generate for you. But because I know how it works, this is like a river meander with fingers. And it basically makes the thickness of the fingers much thinner, even though it's still attached to like the sword hand. So it's just like it's a better way to do this. Like this on the Square Twist Samurai is like super thick because it goes through a whole bunch of layers. Because there's like 5 layers tucked into the fingers, but in here it's like meandered out, so the thickness is more translated into the arm. So like things like that, I rather do myself to figure it out, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think I'm cooking here with that kind of technique, by the way. This specific one allows color change sword. It's pretty cool. It's actually in that collab thing I showed. This, I think it's yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Have you used okay. Boyce, you know Baldy. I do not. I do not. Actually, okay. Here, let me. You see how the hand fingers, right? They're even thickness. We have a thumb, and then it's a color change sword, and like the inside of it. Okay, ignore this section for the color change, but it's relatively clean. It's like it's not bad. This one's cleaner, right? I didn't shape it as much yet. I still need to finish shaping the hand, but right, because Boxbeat Studio doesn't necessarily, it will be efficient in terms of design and paper used, but doesn't always think or I don't think it thinks about how much layers and layer thickness, right? So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Tutorial for the Ori edit is it's attached to that website link I sent. Okay, since that was your question. I think for now, I'm gonna add. Okay, I'm back because we're not recording anymore. But yeah, I'll hope to finish this tutorial pretty soon. At least the first part. The shaping, I'm gonna spend some more time on. So I don't know if I can finish it this week, but at least I think tomorrow I'm gonna finish filming the rest of the collapse tutorial. And we'll get that uploaded sometime during the week. Shouldn't take too long to edit. But yeah, it doesn't take too long to shape either. like the nice thing about this helmet is a lot of it's held by tension, so you don't even need to wet fold it too much. Now it's a lot better when you wet fold, but I know in the square twist samurai tutorial, a lot of it was like, okay, you wet fold this portion, you wait for it to dry, and then you adjust it until it's good. This one, it's a simpler model, so it doesn't require as much. A lot of the confusing part will probably be the torso and the legs, which we'll get into. And then also how to do the sword. Yeah, should be pretty fun, I think. I'm using Windows. It's EXE is open on Windows. I'm on Windows. .exe is just a general executive. Oh, just a executable. I mean, Gavin has to go. Have fun. Thank you. I'm probably gonna go soon too. You know, we're just about crossed the 2-hour mark for the stream, so that's gonna be most of this for today. And yeah, if you guys have any final questions, I'll dive into it a little bit. But other than that, I think that was a pretty fun stream. I'm back. You know, I'll be pushing content, a lot of new exciting stuff for you guys to watch. Should be pretty cool. And then like once I clear some of my sponsored videos and collaborations, once those are out of the way, I'm going to take some time to make some new cool designs I think you're going to like. That should be pretty cool. And there'll be videos accompanying those new designs. So yeah, generally around the spring, around this time in the new year, I like to just increase my level of design, for myself to get better at origami. So hopefully that results in some cool stuff. Like I think Head Empty was designed in the spring. The SDPA was designed in the spring. So I get some spicy models, some really cool stuff out during this time. Okay, question. What will be your next book? Yes. Okay, so the guy who's drawing my diagrams, he's in the progress of the second edition or volume 2 of the dragon series. So I have another dragon. It's a wyvern, so it's a different type of dragon, and those diagrams will come out hopefully before June. I'm going to ask him if he can maybe finish it by then, maybe pay him a little bit more as encouragement to try to get those out. So ideally we can finish that one. And then there's one more I want him to do. It'll either be a trilogy or just those two, and we'll have like a small collection before I go on to some more. But I think the small individual diagrams are pretty successful in terms of getting them done and released. And they've sold pretty well at conventions. So as convention season starts to come up, I'll have some new stuff ready. But that should be pretty fun. I think I need to restock myself on some of those little dragon diagrams as well, because a lot of people like that. But yeah, that's a great question. I'm excited for those to be ready as well. I think it'll be really cool if I have a trilogy of dragon diagrams. Yeah, that'd just be really neat. And ideally, if all 3 are done, the next print would be the 3 together. And that'll be pretty cool. Congrats on being sold out at Paper Tree. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm super excited and super happy that people at Paper Tree have loved it so much. So I'm excited to send more. Those actually, the ones I'm sending to Paper Tree very soon is like my last stock. So now I have some funding to work on more prints and get some more inventory for those diagrams. So that's super exciting. Kian finished making the bunny girl. Sweet. Thanks, man, for folding that. How does my job interact and interfere with origami job? So my day job, I do software engineering, 9 to 5, right? Or it's more 10 to 7, because I have to work a little bit later with our international teams. That's just the job. After that, after I'm done with my job, I can do whatever, right? So that time goes to origami. Normally I fold between midnight and 4 a.m. That's when everyone's asleep. So I have a good 4 hours to focus. So even probably the rest of this tutorial will happen then. I used to stream at those hours, but not many people were awake. So I pushed the stream a little bit early on Fridays, but during the weekdays, I normally am up between those hours to work on stuff. So I have time for everything. Thankfully, my job, it lets me have some flexibility with vacation days, so I can travel a lot. Last year, I traveled maybe too much, but um, I've kind of, I worked hard for a position and a job that I can do that, and I am very lucky and blessed at the same time that I can do that. But that's kind of how the interaction works. And the day job assists in funding the actually origami funds itself now, but everything else in life, the other job helps a lot. What do I have to download? Or would I download the exe, zip, or jar? I think it's just the download button. The exe, yeah, the installer. Oh, yeah, not the zip, just the exe. Yeah, it should be fine, and you just install it yourself. Oh, you don't have to install it. Actually, I don't know. Any of them should be okay. Floating SCS, Hanji should be fine, right? Yeah, Hanji should be good. Might be a little bit small. I think the Hanji I have... Actually, no, I think it should be fine. It should be 60 centimeters. Yeah, it should be fine. The first samurais I made out of that stuff. Or I used Unryu, but it's like 90% the same. Do your colleagues know how highly reviewed you are in the origami world? No, not really. I keep it separate a little bit. I think in my job, my manager knows the most because he kind of like asks me a lot of questions when we have like one-on-one meetings, especially when I'm traveling. So when I was special guest to Origami at MIT, like that definitely piqued his interest because MIT and technology, it's kind of, that's the place. So he knows the most. A few of my other coworkers like follow my Instagram and stuff, so they know relatively what I do. But the rest, not too much, not too much. What models are getting diagrammed? So mostly my dragon designs for now. The ones that aren't as like crazy grid. The crazy grid one has the tutorial. No diagram for that one. That one's too crazy. Let's see. How do you think I could seek permission to sell models of other people? Well, you just have to look on their social medias maybe or their websites. Generally, they have a email address probably. And then that's how you would ask, I used to fall asleep during the later streams. Yeah, that happens enough. And I think your few streams, I almost fell asleep too, just because it's getting late and definitely get tired sometimes streaming. Here to go. Hey, thanks, Eric. NAR paper is cheap. That is superb. I'll save money to buy some. Hey, I support that source too. NAR is a great person, great folder. Been in the community for a long time, so go support him for sure. I'll make your models excited. Sweet. Thank you, everybody. Oh yeah. You just trust it. What that means in Windows is there's just not like a certificate that a lot of like published softwares use, but it's safe. Because I want to buy paper on my own, spread origami. Yes. Yeah. So, origami of coffee. Thank you. Yes, coffee. I know it's at night, but remember, I gotta be awake from 12 to 4 to work on stuff. No, this is just normal for me. Coffee doesn't do much. I didn't understand. Yeah, it's safe. It's safe, Clapto. You just click accept or yes or whatever and let it install. Here we drink tea a lot. I like tea too. One of my other streams, actually, I featured a tea. It may or may not have been actually me that was in that stream at the beginning. But my favorite tea is Lapsang Souchong. It's a smoky tea. It's a Chinese black tea. It's very good. Where's the accept button? I'm not sure. It's going to be somewhere on your computer or somewhere on that download or something like that. Yeah, you're gonna have to figure that out. I do not have vision of your computer, but it's worked for a lot of people. So, maybe if you have a parent, you can ask them for help. Okay, so I think that's gonna wrap up the stream. It was great everybody seeing you showing some stuff and getting started on the tutorial. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this tutorial. So yeah, I'll do my very best to get this out soon. And we'll see next Friday if I have a stream or not. Not too sure, but I'll make sure it's not too long of a gap like last time. But thank you everybody for tuning in. If you have other questions, just feel free to drop it in the comments. I normally respond to the comments. And I'll see y'all next time. So yeah, have a great weekend and go fold some origami.